All right. Okay, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. I haven't had to do an intro in front of someone before. It's very fun.
This.
Yeah, it's very good. I'll get it though. I'll get it. Hey everyone, J-Man here, and welcome to the channel. I got my first interview almost ever, is the one and only multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, and all-around amazing person, Gentle Ghosts.
Woo!
Or Brandon, what do you prefer?
For the purpose of this, I said Gentle Ghost.
Gentle Ghost.
I'm going to get in the Gentle Ghost
You're going to get into the Gentle Ghost?
mind frame. I'm going to be really depressed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sad.
You're going to be sad. It's going to be the saddest interview ever. We're just going to be crying the entire time. First off, how are you today? How is everything?
How am I today?
Yes.
Today, I have been disconnected from the world.
Right.
From reality.
Mm-hmm.
Which usually happens when I'm too overstimulated with emotions or different things like that. I usually just shut off to some degree. But after coming here and just because we were chilling for the audience at home, we were just chilling for a while. I just finished work today, and it was. I started feeling more in tune with the world. I'm feeling more grounded. I feel since coming. So now as to how I'm feeling now, it's just a feeling of like I'm just keen to explore the world.
Right. That's always a good place to be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that I could assist in that in any way I could. You know, because I know I did ask that question 2 hours ago when we first started hanging out, and it was good that you're in a bit of a a relaxing environment at least that hopefully I can help create that. Anyway, let's get into, because you have an album coming out, as you can see behind us with the lovely artwork. All I See Is Ghost.
That's
your
the
debut album.
Indeed.
21st of October. So
that's the day.
That's the day.
Put it in the calendars. Mark that one in.
You got to mark it. You got to mark it in. So, how long has the Gentle Ghost project been going on for?
It started about a year ago. I think maybe exactly a year ago.
Right.
It all started. Are we going back there?
We go back where you want to be. Wherever you want to go, we can go there. We don't got to go back if we don't want to.
It's the Gentle Ghost's origin story. We got to, but I feel like a broken record at this point, like, because whenever I'm talking to people about the music, it's like I have to go back to where I was at that time, which wasn't a great time, but it was, it was when I speak to that disconnect that I just said I was living in. It wasn't just like a day of disconnect. It was like months of that disconnect.
Right.
A very long amount of time of that disconnect.
Yeah.
And just self-loathing and just no self-confidence, and I didn't want to play guitar or anything like that. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do anything. And then there were just a couple different things that sort of pulled me out of that, and music was one of them. Just getting back to playing again and just playing without any expectation.
Yeah.
It just opened me up to feeling things again when I had been so disconnected for so long.
Yeah.
So all this music is kind of just the result of that process of opening back up. Maybe I think the songs were written between August and September of last year. It was just every day in lockdown, just picking up the guitar and just seeing what comes out, and just having to just accept it. Like, this is just what is coming out.
Yeah.
And then enough of those things came out, and then I was like, okay. I wasn't sure that I was going to put it out, but because it was just kind of this thing I was doing. It would just help me understand things and help me feel things.
Yeah.
And then here we are now. I'm actually sharing it with people, which is interesting to say the least, because the gravity of it to me is a lot, but it like, so it's just interesting to like that my mom's gonna listen to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
just, or and maybe people won't even like know the gravity of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may hear it and they may not, maybe they won't resonate with it, and it wouldn't feel like that much gravity.
Yep.
But for me it is a lot. So to me, even just just to put that out there, I'm sort of detached from it because I just not think about it as much.
Okay.
But yeah, sharing it with people is interesting.
Yeah, how does that feel? Like putting something out that is so personal to you, and you know, the Gentle Ghost project meant so much to you in that time, and it sort of got you through that dark period. Now that it is, you know, coming out in a month from now, and people will be able to hear it anywhere, how does that make you feel? Is it exciting? Is it terrifying? Is it all of the above? How does that feel as an artist to put music out there when this emotion is behind it?
In a way, I feel like it, for one, there's a sense of relief because I don't even need to worry about what people think of it because it's my feelings.
Yep.
And that can't be wrong. Like no one's feelings can be wrong.
Yep.
That was where I was at that time. And that was just me expressing myself. There's no right or wrong in that. It just is what it is. So that takes a lot of the pressure off of it for me. Whereas like some of the times with music, there's a lot of pressure of music needs to feel like it needs to achieve certain things or make people feel certain ways. But in this case, the pressure's kind of off.
Okay, right.
So that's one good thing.
Yeah.
And then another good thing is like with the last song that I put out, About You, that just having people listen to that.
Yeah.
It was comforting.
Right.
Because it made me feel like people saw something more of me. Like they saw a bit more of what I was going through that maybe they didn't know at the time. And maybe they still don't understand like in words because like the words only say so much in this song, but more just the feeling. Like I put my feeling into that song and people listen to it. So on some level, like it's just that feeling of being seen. So that's nice as well.
Yeah, right.
It's just, it's like, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, I've received that message.
Right.
That's kind of with Gentle Ghosts.
Yeah.
That's all I could ever really ask for. Like one person, one of my friends, messaged me after the song came out and was like something along the lines of like, I could relate to the feeling of what you're talking about. Yeah. And that was the most special thing to me because that's what it's all about with this, because that's all it was to me when I was doing it. It was just me expressing myself. So if someone actually receives that message, that's really cool. But the thing is, not everyone's gonna receive that message, and that's okay because we're all different human beings. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the creation of this album, was that one of the reasons that why you wanted to put this out there? Is because it helped you get out of that dark place? Is the hope that some people would also it would be that same thing to someone else? Would it help them out the same way it helped you? Or
it's hard because I don't know if it like the process of making it helped me, but I don't know whether listening to it would help someone else. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, but yeah. Like, I think for me, like, until that happens, I wouldn't be able to say, you know, like I like I couldn't really imagine that happening.
Okay.
Because it hasn't happened. But if it happened,
yeah,
then that would be really cool. But that wasn't a reason why I put it out there, because I couldn't imagine that happening. Like I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I couldn't imagine anything happening from it.
Okay.
I was just like, I know that I should share it, and I want to feel comfortable putting myself out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it, but I didn't really think that it would or could have that effect.
All right. I like to think that I like to be an optimist here, but I would like to think that it will have the effect on someone, because considering you've only released 2 songs, and Puzzled being the more uplifting song out of the 2, but then you got About You, where you said that, you know, one person who listened to it, your mate, reached out and said, oh no, I'm feeling the same, thank you for helping me out, type of thing. And if that's only the one song, especially in this whole album that I have listened to, thank you for, by the way, because this is, you're giving me a cheeky listen. It's there's a lot of like that. It's definitely, Puzzled is more like, not an outlier, but it's the most upbeat song of the bunch, right?
For sure.
And then About You is definitely more fitting to the album. It feels like it fits in place. I think they all do, but I feel like About You is a better distinguished, like it's a better sort of like header for the album, because I think it relates to a lot more of the songs than Puzzled does. And with that said, I feel like people will, I like to think, feel a lot better, and you know, because you're very open with your lyrics on that album, and you're very transparent. And I feel like people, including myself, like I listened to it and I can definitely relate to it, and it made me feel amazing. And so I can only imagine that the people that listen to it would feel amazing too. So no, but thank you for putting this out, by the way. You are going to help people with it, and you've already, like, you know, and you just made me happy listening to it. And then so I'm sure you're going to make a lot of other people happy listening to it, which I'm not saying is the only reason you make music, but I'm saying it's very, thank you for sharing it, because it's beautiful, man. Like, it's good. It's ironic. We were talking about that recently, just when something is so beautiful, it's sort of hard to put into words, and how it even was created. And yeah, I'm not just saying that because you're my friend, but listening to this album, I felt that thing where it's like, how did this come from? How did these songs get even put together? How is it something that's so amazing? Because I genuinely really liked the entire album.
Thank you.
I just want to reiterate that, like, it's really, really good. I really enjoy it. It makes me very happy to listen to it. I think I've listened to it, 10 times at this point. It is short. It is only 24 minutes. But with that said, I loved my time listening to it. It was not a drag at all. It had no sort of slow bits, like, not slow, but you know what I mean, like lackluster sections. It was just, it's beautiful, man. It's great.
What was it like? Like, what's it like? Because I'm always curious how it comes across to someone else. I mean, like, I guess there's a lot of different songs, so it's difficult to like condense it into one thing. But like,
it does have an overarching feel though. They feel connected to each other. It does feel like one album. Like, it's even without the intros and outros to each song that are connecting them all. Even the songs as a whole, they do feel like they're sort of telling a story in some way. And I'm still unsure what that story is. I'm not sure if even on your side, if there was a story there, but it's just some beauty to it where it's something that I look for in music. And it's crazy that I know someone who's created something like that, because it sounds similar to me, like to a Plural One album from Josh Klinghoffer. There's that Fight for the Soul or something like that, where it's this beautiful song and you can't really explain why you love it so much. And it has that similar vibe. And I didn't think that I'll be lucky enough to actually like hang out and know someone who could create something like that, which is, I'm not just trying to blow smoky, but it sounds like I am, but I'm just trying to give you your flowers and tell you my genuine opinion, you know?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely, it's definitely a lot going for it. With that said, enough of me just talking about how amazing the album is. So we get into the first song, the ASMR intro, right? So why did you open the album with an ASMR intro? Because I was not expecting that. When I just put that on and went for my little walk, the last thing I was expecting was you saying hello. We're going to be retro today. So what was that about?
It's to scare off all the fake Gentle Ghost fans. The people press play. What the fuck is ASMR?
It's blasting on. Oh man. But,
so the idea was because the album to me it was like it was just me kind of expressing these things, sort of in a vacuum, I guess.
Okay.
I was just in lockdown playing these songs. Actually, my friend heard like I was sending him songs every day that I was writing, and he was sending me songs that he was writing. Like we were exchanging songs. It was kind of cute.
It was very cute.
But apart from that, like I didn't have any thought that anyone would actually hear these songs. So the feeling I wanted to convey with the album was that the album was almost like this secret thing that someone has just stumbled upon that they weren't really meant to find. Like they weren't really meant to listen to this. Like sort of like a message in a bottle, kind of like you just this weird bottle is sort of like it just wandered up on shore, and you just unplug the cork and pull out the thing and like, what is this? Where did this come from? That's kind of and now that I think about it now, maybe it's like why would someone send a message in a bottle? Maybe it's like someone's like, it's almost like a cry for help in a way. Like when I say that thing about it was really nice for people to see me and to like understand what I was going through. Like that's kind of like a message in a bottle in a way. It's like someone writes this thing just like, please, like I hope someone will see this, you know? Someone will see me. Someone will hear what I have to say. And that was kind of how it was with the music. It was like I was expressing all these things, and then when it came to putting it out there, it's just almost like just hoping that someone stumbles upon it, and then there's some level of being understood and seen by someone. So then the radio is kind of like a way to do that, I guess. It was like this mysterious radio. And I also just really like radios. I love AM radios, like those vintage AM radios. They're just, I love old stuff like that, like VHS players. I've got an old VHS player. I've got like 4 or 5 cassette players. Like I just really like that old tech. And then also the album kind of has a very lo-fi feeling. Like I wanted to make the album sound like it was recorded on like a tape player in like the 80s or something. Like it was made in like someone's basement with like a fucking Tascam tape recorder at like 2 a.m. and they're just like strumming this shitty guitar. And they just like created a tape, and then they just like threw it away somewhere in a trash bin, and then someone like picked up the like the tape out of the bin, and it like went into a flea market and like went to Persia, and then like some Persian monk found it, and you know what I mean? Like I just wanted it to sound like that. So I guess that AM radio kind of links into it some way in that way as well. And then I just ASMR is funny. They whisper. They go, "Hey guys, how y'all doing?" It wasn't me doing it. It was my friend James.
Really?
Shout out James.
Shout out to James. Thank you for the ASMR.
Because he's an ASMR expert. Like
does he actually do it?
He doesn't do it, but he watches it, so he knows. He knows. Like he did a whole. Respect to James. He pulled through like with the request of
shout out James
doing the shout out James. I asked for the ASMR intro. This man sent me like half an hour of like ASMR tapping. Like he was like, okay, this is take number 23. Like he committed to the max.
Oh,
like he understood the assignment.
That's it.
And I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the whole clips. It was a joy. It was tantalizing to my eardrums. So yeah. So I guess that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that's the wackiness as well. You know, it's just like, why not the album exist within an ASMR video?
Right.
And so, like I like to think that there's a whole like universe set around this. Like I want to know, like, and it wasn't fully explored in the album intro, but have you ever listened to the podcast Welcome to Night Vale?
No, I haven't. No.
It's kind of like this horror mystery sort of podcast.
Okay,
and it's just sort of like this fictional small town in America where just weird shit happens, and it's all set through this like radio station that's like broadcasting about the weird shit that happens. And like I like to imagine there's like some very strange story as to how this radio came to be. Like, how did this radio come into the hands of this person? Like, what are the physics of it, you know? Like because it starts and you can hear like scanning between different things, right?
Right.
But there's no scanner on it, so it's like, it was my soul like trapped in the, like, is it a human soul that was like trapped in the radio? Does it trap souls inside the radio, and like when you press play, it like the soul kind of comes out through the form of music? Or is it kind of like a scanner, like when you press play, it like picks up what's happening in someone in a different time, in a different place, or maybe even the same place like 20 years ago? I'm just curious about the law of it, but someone else will have to flesh out the law of it, because I definitely didn't flesh out the law of it in the intro. It was just like, hey guys, I found this radio.
And here we go.
Let's do it. So I like to think about that. I'm like, where did this come from? You know, what's the what's going on here? Like, it was intriguing to me.
Right.
That an album could come out of a radio like this. I'm like, what's the spookiness behind this? Right.
Well, spookiness is a good leeway because or segue, sorry, because are you infatuated by ghosts because it's your Gentle Ghosts, and you got album title,
maybe
a song named Ghosts?
Maybe.
So like, why all the ghost talk?
I don't know, because it's funny, right? Like, if anyone asked me if I believe in ghosts, I would say no.
Okay.
Because I kind of have this thing of like, because I did a science degree.
Yep. Smart boy.
Science. Yep.
Shout out to science.
Shout out science.
Yeah.
And I kind of growing up and everything, it was like, oh, if you believe in supernatural things, you're just a dumb idiot. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, because science and facts and logic.
Yeah.
And so even to this day, like, hand on my heart, do I believe in ghosts? Maybe there's more. I don't know. I'm starting to accept more and more that I may actually be more open-minded to things than I was in the past.
Right.
But for so long it was like, no, I couldn't admit to myself that I had like a curiosity for those things.
Yeah.
Because it was out of pride. Because if I admitted that, I was worried that people would perceive me as dumb, because I was perceiving other people as dumb for believing in ghosts, because I did a science degree and you can prove through X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Not that you can actually like prove or disprove.
Yeah.
Something like a ghost. Like, how do you do a ghost experiment? Like, come here, ghosts, we're gonna test if you're real or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, because I didn't plan it. Like the song Ghosts, like I said, like, it's just, I just got my guitar and I was just playing and just saying the first words that came to my mind, and I was singing, do I know who I am? Am I my only friend? And then the chorus comes, and all I see is ghosts coming back for me. All I see is ghosts coming back for me. And that was like one of the earliest songs that I wrote when I first got back into playing guitar. Yeah. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, why am I saying this? Like, I don't believe in ghosts, but it stuck with me. Right. And then when I was thinking of a name for an artist, I wrote this whole list of names, and I just randomly said Gentle Ghosts, and I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah. I don't believe in ghosts. Like, what's going on? Yeah. But it just stuck with me.
Wow. Okay.
And then I was like, I couldn't deny it. I'm like, okay, there's something here. And then I saw this image. It's still my wallpaper. On my phone. Yeah. It's been it for like a long time. Yeah. And it's these little ghosty boys. I'll put it up to the camera so I love it, so they can see as well. Okay, we can do it up in post. Nice. So that was kind of like,
that's the similar
inspiration for the sort of Gentle Ghost aesthetic. Yeah. And when I saw that as well, it was like, okay, this is, there's something here. Right. And I don't know what it is yet, because I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, something because there's some moments, especially there's this one song on the album, Want It All, and there's a lot of songs that didn't make it onto the album that kind of further this. But Want It All is like one of those songs where it's like I've just descended into some fucking hellscape that I don't even like really understand.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like come back with some information, and that's it feels very ghostly to me. It feels very unclear to me. It feels very like dreamlike to me, whereas the other songs it's like more clear what I'm talking about. It's like a relationship in my life. Lose It All is another song that is confusing to me. It's like it seems very dreamlike. It's just I just play the guitar and these things come out, but I don't really understand what it means. And going back to our Red Hot Chili Peppers interview, if you haven't listened to that,
I think it may have stopped.
No,
I think it may have stopped. One second. Okay, it just wanted to stop. Okay, sorry, we're going again.
Oh, good.
Okay, here we go. I think we're recording again. All right.
Go.
Go.
But yeah,
sorry.
As we were saying,
yeah, epic cut. We have the audio. It's fine. We can just it's fine.
It'll just be pictures of ghosts, like stock image ghosts,
Stock PNG.
It's like ghost, like a Halloween costume ghosts, just like 20 minutes a ghost montage.
How many ghosts can we fit?
That would be good. I would watch that. That'd be sick.
Oh,
we should do that.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
But yeah. Yes. So going back to the Anthony Kiedis. Yeah, we talked about Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you haven't listened to Jams, the podcast episode where we talk about the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, definitely check that out. We talk about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and one thing that always intrigued me, I know this is a Gentle Ghost interview, but we're just going to talk about it anyway. Because we can cut out whatever stuff is like extraneous fluff to the. We can just talk about whatever. Yep. I was just intrigued when you talked to me. I don't know if it was in the interview or outside, but about how you really appreciate his lyricism, Anthony Kiedis' lyricism, and I think I asked you, and it was kind of this feeling that, well, I mean, with the music, but also with the lyrics, that like no matter what you're feeling, you can kind of get something out of it, like, and also in terms of understanding the meaning, it's like the meaning is never so clear that there's always something more to get. It's like this sort of. It's like this unreachable thing because it is sort of mysterious and vague and poetic. Versus like if the song was like, I am sad today, I'm very sad. Like I have a song like that, like Be Alive. Yeah. On the album, it's like the lyrics are very clear. Like it gets the message across, but it doesn't really leave much to the imagination. Yeah. Which is good in its own way, but then there's something to be said for those sort of lyrics where the person even writing it doesn't even fully understand where it comes from. Yeah. And maybe they won't even understand it until 20 years later. Right. Or something like that. Like I know like one of my friends is trans, and he was showing me some songs that he wrote like pre-transitioning and even pre like having that understanding within himself. Okay. And then listening back to these songs and realizing that they were actually expressions of dysphoria. Wow. But like at the time having no idea why he was writing a song about feeling trapped and feeling like constricted and feeling all of these things. Yeah, yeah. And that's just kind of like that thing of you're tapping into something that you don't even know consciously. Yep. It's just something from deep inside or something from out there. And just trying to put it into music. And to me, that's the most interesting thing or the most amazing thing about music is when that happens, is when you're talking about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like the stuff with Josh, and it's like you can't really describe why it is that it makes you feel the way it does. Yeah. It's that intangible element that is just so beautiful to me. So anything that kind of taps on that, I'm really here for. And that's why I really like those those songs, even though I feel like they're not going to be for everyone, like Lose It All and Want It All, and I have some other songs like that as well, where it's like it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
When I listen to it, I'm just like, because it's about something, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like if I like the fact that I put those words together with that music, it wasn't like I was like going through a dictionary, like a rhyming dictionary, like, okay, what word comes after this? Is like it was literally like the first thing out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like I sat down, I just play the chords and I just sing these words, and then you have to go like, why? You know, like what am I trying to say? And I've got some theories, but they're secret. The theories for only gentle ghosts. But
I don't have the headphones on. What did you say? I should have. No.
Well, no, that fits into it because because
I gotta listen to it and post. I'm like, that's what he said. Like,
no, it's because I said that the meaning is secret.
Yes.
So it fits that you didn't hear it.
There we go.
Because it was secret, you know? But now it's no longer secret.
Should be called Gentle Secrets.
Yeah, Gentle Secrets. Everyone can have their own.
Yeah.
But my interpretation may change. But that's the stuff that really interests me. And that's the reason that I love this fucking guitar so much. Is just because it can do that, you know? I can sit down and I could just play and sing, and something's going to come out, and it's going to be expressing something, and I like it's like I couldn't plan it to ever be that way. Like it's just not possible. Like it's just where I'm at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just so crazy. Like it's no substitution for therapy. Shout out therapy.
Shout out therapy.
I need to go to therapy again.
Yeah,
if you listen to the album, I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah, a little bit.
That I should go back to my therapist or a new therapist because something wasn't working.
No, try a new one.
But, but no substitution for therapy, but a form of therapy, to me at least, like it's therapeutic to be able to get emotions out there, even if no one hears it. And it's things that, at least for me, it's things that I couldn't necessarily articulate in words sometimes because I may not even fully understand. Like I was saying that example with the dysphoria, it's like before there was even that conscious understanding of what was happening, there was a feeling that was deeper than thought, and that was coming through. And music is one way. Not even as just the person playing the music, but as the person listening to the music. It's the same. Like, I don't know if you feel this at all, but like some days you listen to a song and on another day it wouldn't really resonate with you that much, but on this particular day,
of course,
it just like it just brings something different out in you. And it's the same thing as that. It's like it's tapped into something beyond words. Inside you that you can't even explain, and no words could do that exactly like how that did that. So it's both ways. It's listening to it and it's expressing it, and it's cool. It's really cool.
End result of giving people maybe an outlet, or just or giving yourself even just an outlet, or just being able to resonate either in that certain day, however you're feeling, can put on that whatever you've created, and then it goes for you and anyone else listening to it, and then it could make them feel a lot better,
for sure.
And that's what I was saying in the beginning, where I'm saying like I appreciate you putting this out into the world, because as you were saying, it just came from a dark time. This beautiful piece of work came out from a dark time of you, and I know that would be a big thing of putting that out to the world. So I just but I think because due to that, it will make a lot of people happy. And make their days better.
That's
I'd
true.
like to think because of that.
But I also hope that they can have an outlet as well.
Of course.
Because this is another thing. Let me sip this.
Let me sip this.
Let me sip it. Sippy break.
Let's do a sippy break. Sorry, hold on. Having a sippy break. BRB, just sippy break. Oh no, I should have a sippy break. Delicious.
Delightful.
But to life.
We love life.
We love
life. But this is the thing, right? And
Yeah.
this fucking grinds my gears, right? it's like this, and maybe. Okay, you got to come in right. You got to be the voice of reason.
Okay,
because I'm just gonna say the most flagrant shit, and you're gonna need to like.
right.
I'm gonna say with no disclaimers.
Yep.
And then you're gonna need to, because I was gonna like I do this thing when I like I'll say something, but then I have the like thought around the thing, and then it's like on top of the thought.
Yep.
And it's sort of like, oh, but blah 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 blah.
Spirals. Yep.
But this is gonna be just the original thought.
Okay.
Okay. And you gotta give me your thoughts on the original thought.
Yes.
With no disclaimers.
Yep.
I feel like everyone is an artist.
Yes.
And I feel like everyone has things to express, and I feel like everyone should express those things, and everyone would benefit from expressing those things in some way.
Yep.
And it may not be the same way for everyone, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean making an album and putting it out into the world. But just like I said, like just in the way that music and art can tap into something inside you that just like talking doesn't necessarily do, or just other more conventional things don't necessarily do. I just feel like there's something in there for everyone. And I feel like, everyone would benefit from that in some way. Do you play any like D&D or role-playing games or anything like that?
I've played it a couple of times. Like I know enough about it to,
because that's another one. It's like, like D&D or any sort of role-playing game like that. That's like art as well. Like this one quote that always sticks with me is like this, I can't remember who said it, but they were saying like artists are kind of like the shamans of our time, and like a shaman being someone who takes, like if you're the shaman for your tribe, it's like you're translating the dreams, the supernatural, the things that are beyond what is just physically present in front of us. You're translating all of that into some art.
Yeah.
Whether you sing a song or whether you tell a story or something, you sit around the fire and everyone's listening to that. And now we're all experiencing this thing. You're translating that into this thing. And if you're playing D&D, it's kind of like you're doing that collectively. It's like a collective form of dreaming. It's like these people sitting around at a table and they're inhabiting a world that's not even real. Like it doesn't exist anywhere. Yeah. But it feels so real. Like my friend, he was talking about, because he fucking loves D&D and he loves writing and stories and everything like that. And he was just saying like, he was just driving the other day and he was just thinking about his characters in his world for his book, but his book also like aligns with D&D, so it's kind of like a mix between the two. And something happened to his character and he just started crying. It was like the middle of traffic, like he was just in his car and he just started sobbing. And it's like you're pulling from something so real at that point. You're pulling from something, whether it's from in you or like something that you've seen around you or just in the ether, wherever it is, there's something. What else would make someone just start crying like in the middle of their car just thinking about a character? You know what I mean? Like they didn't. It's something is being processed. Something is happening there, and everyone deals with shit. Everyone feels shit. Everyone exists in this world. So I just have a feeling that everyone would benefit from some form of expression, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like it's being gate kept by artists. Because like I was talking to this guy the other day, and he was like, we were talking about making music. I was like, oh, do you make music? And he's like, nah, I don't really make music. I've got this MIDI keyboard. Like sometimes I'll like play some drums on it, and like sometimes I'll make some beats, but no, I don't make music. Like I'm not a musician. It's like, what do you mean? You like what more do you have to do? what more, like, and we talked again, shout out, you got to go back to the Red Hot Chili Pepper episode if you haven't already. Like we were saying, like this is music. That's music. Like what more, like what's the difference? Like try to prove the difference between this and any song you hear on the radio. Like what's the difference? Like what is it? Just someone did the drums more than once? Like so then how many times do you have to hit a drum for it to become music? What if I went la, like is that not a song? Like how long, you know what I mean? Like it's all on a continuum. It's all the same thing. Like there's literally no difference between like people just hitting on things in the middle of class and like tapping their feet and stuff, or someone making like the most successful pop song in the world. Like they're doing the same thing. And if we're all doing the same thing, then we're all artists. It's not like you graduate to artist school once you've like made a certain amount of dollars or a certain number of followers or something like that. And it's just therapeutic. It's just therapeutic for everyone. And like I feel like maybe even if like in an alternate universe, I think I would go into art therapy as just as a profession, like just using art, using music, using role-playing games in particular. Like you can explore some like deep relationship, familial, personal things through role-playing games, because you can be someone else, you know, like you can take on a totally different life and you can explore that and you can feel the emotions of that thing. Like you can feel things for people that you're not, and live their life and walk in their shoes and all of these things through role playing. And like I say, I feel like it's all the same thing. And I feel like it's therapeutic. And I just feel like that should be for everyone. And in an alternate universe, or maybe even this universe in the future, I think I would like to just explore that more for everyone, because I'm just like, I'm simultaneously like perpetuating the like rise and grind. We got to fucking make our way in the world and like get 1 billion streams and all these things. I'm simultaneously perpetuating that, but then also like, can we please stop? Can we please just get along, and like, can we please just take care of each other and just try to make this world a good place? And it's just that push and pull between those two things. And this album is definitely way more on the latter side, like that time in life where I wasn't thinking about like putting out music and like, will I be able to make money from music, and what are XYZ people going to think about this? It was just like, it was just the music. It was just therapeutic for me. I'm just going to show my friend. And that was life. That was like, there wasn't anything more that I needed. But I've kind of been on the grind lately, and it's hard to regret it because you can kind of rationalize it. But in this moment, I have this awareness of like, just chill. Like, we have everything we could possibly need to be happy right now. Like, just chill. It's good. It's all good. That's kind of the feeling I get right now. But it's a push and pull between those things. But what's your take on this stuff? What's your like?
No. I think it's I think we also touched on it in our episode of Jams. But I think the world would benefit from a lot more people being creative in any action of it. Like even personally, like I've been out of work with this, and I've been Twitch streaming for a lot. And it's been so fun. It's been so great. We have a group called the Jam Fam on Discord, and we all like hang out every day, and it's a really therapeutic type of thing. But it's a thing that I wouldn't have done if I didn't start content creation, if I didn't start Jams, if I didn't do that. And again, we got into that on the episode of Jams as well, that it is therapeutic to a sort of extent, and it sort of makes me a happier person because I have these outlets. And that's not even like a song or anything like that, where it has that sort of, you could be talking about stuff you don't even know why you're talking about it. With streaming and stuff like that, it's more just me just chatting. But even then,
there's still that element to it.
It's a good, Yeah, that's a good point. I guess your stuff would just come up without you really realizing it. And yeah, it's no, yeah. So I agree, and I think that a lot more people. I think that just shows that anyone can sort of go and have an outlet or whatever it is. For you, it's music. For me, it would be content creation or in any mean type of thing. And I think that almost everyone will have that one outlet, and I think the ceiling is getting lower and lower for that, where more and more people are understanding that, okay, I can do these certain things that I want to do. It's not like the way it was 20 years ago when it comes to content creation or music. So I think it's getting, I think we're getting there. I think we're on the right path, I like to think. It's a shout out to all the SoundCloud rappers that are making songs for their 2 fans. You know what I mean? Like those, just because that outlet is there, and they still do it because of the passion. So yeah, I think that's definitely it's becoming better. I like to think.
Yeah.
But
have you ever thought of making some music? Making some beats?
I never had the want to do it, really. It's I would love to be in a cover band. I think that'll be fun. Well, just not even a cover band, but just jamming songs that I know. I would love that. But I've never really had the want to create a song. Like when I was a kid, I used to write a couple of songs here and there.
Yeah.
But little poems things in the want of that. But that sort of went away quite young. And it's not because I was like, it's not like I missed doing that, but it's just, I never really had the overalling. No, not really.
Yeah.
But I still think music is an amazing outlet. One of my favorite outlets, for
listening to music.
Listening, it's more like listening and just sort of experiencing it and just being there for it.
Yeah.
Great. But one thing I want to talk to you about in the album is, because you're talking about like outlets and sort of there's, and how they can sort of be helping and like therapy in a sense. Your interludes, is that a correct thing to call it interludes? Is it breath work? Is that a correct way of saying it?
Yeah.
So why did you call them to breath work, and so why is it part 1 and 2? So what do these come into it?
Well, I guess I mean, meditation was one thing that really got me through that last year. And breath work, I guess that's another word for meditation.
Yep.
And meditation is kind of, for me at least, that state of just feeling how you're feeling and just being in touch with it and just accepting it. And like I was saying at the start, like before I started Gentle Ghosts, I was so detached and so numb from all of my feeling. Yep. So meditation, that's like the most perfect thing that you could possibly do. I mean, it's really fucking hard if you've been trying to run away from your feelings for so long, to just sit down and just feel feeling is hard to do. But once you get over that bump, it was just really calming and it was just really grounding, and I just felt more human again. Right. And I guess like the start of About You, because originally About You was, I mean, every time I do About You live, it's different because I just riff around at the start, I riff around at the end.
Yeah.
So that bit at the start, Breathwork one, that was kind of just me riffing around.
Yeah, right.
And when I was playing it, I remember like, this is cool. I can demonstrate.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Mid-interview, I just need to tune this down.
Gotta tune that boy. Tune off ear as well. That's a flex. Look at this little cheeky flex. Gentle Ghosts with the flex, everybody. Because that was good when I listened to it for the first time. I'm like, this sounds like About You. And then it goes into About You. Like, hey!
Yeah, the call.
You got it?
But yeah, I was just going like... something along those lines. And I was just...
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting there recording it, and it was just so trance-like. It just felt very meditative to just whatever it was that I just kept repeating for a while. It just felt like so meditative to me. It was like a reset.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, that's kind of, it just felt like the musical equivalent of a little meditation.
Right.
And then the second one, Breathwork 2,
Yeah.
that's kind of like, in the context of the album, it's like, if the album is kind of like puzzle, like, yay, let's go on an adventure. Yeah. It's like, we're going on an adventure. Oh, this isn't really what I was expecting. No. And then you get to Ghosts, the interlude.
Yeah.
And then the end of Ghosts, it's like this excerpt from this role-playing podcast that I listened to.
Is that what it is? Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. We'll touch on that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we descend down into the hellscape. And we kind of, and then Breathwork 2 is kind of like we're getting back to reality, and because those chords, it just gave me the feeling of like sun coming up for the first time in a long time, like when it's been like a fucking rough night, like and like you haven't slept all night, and then like you just see the sun slowly start to like peek out from there. That's what those chords sounded like to me. So then because I was so deep on my meditation, I was like, what if I put the Headspace meditation on top of that? So there's Andy, shout out Andy from Headspace, got me through.
Nice, Andy.
But totally did not clear the illegal. I don't know him. I don't know any Andys.
I don't know anyone. We don't know anything. It's all right. It's all good. It's all one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I recorded my own meditation. And lay that on top.
Yeah, just you. Yeah.
And so that was kind of like we're gonna just tap back into ourselves. And it's interesting that Be Alive comes after that, because obviously, like I'm saying, like I don't want to be alive anymore.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I wonder how that song comes along to other people, but there's something almost hopeful about it when I listen to it. Like, especially, I mean, the song starts like, which way forward, I don't know. Can't go back, I know for sure. If I stop now, I'll never know what my maker has in store. Yeah. And then I keep repeating, but I don't want to be alive anymore. Like, that's how I feel. Yeah. But right from the start, it's like, I can't stop now. Like, I know that if I stop now, I won't be able to see what the future holds for me. So there's something sort of optimistic about it. Yeah. It's like acknowledging my feelings, but still moving on regardless, and still just accepting it. It's like, this is how I feel. I'm just gonna put it out there. This is how I feel. But it's not like a sense of defeat. Like, I'm not submitting to it. It's just an acceptance of that. So it's interesting that comes after that, like, descent into the abyss and like the reemergence. But in my head, that's kind of how it works. But like, to people listening to it, it may feel totally different. I don't know, because that's just kind of how I'm conceptualizing the whole album. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's it's super interesting. I'm curious on what other people are going to think about the whole album. I'm really,
I'm curious as well. I genuinely, because I have this whole I have this whole world about like that whole descent and everything. Yeah. I just wonder what it feels like. I'd love to hear the songs as someone else. Yeah. I'd love to. And that's why I asked you, like, what did it feel like? Because it just interests me so much. Like, what does this expression that I put out into the world feel like to other people? Because it's interesting to me, because like, say with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, it's like they put out this new song today, Eddie. Shout out Eddie.
Shout out Eddie.
We're doing a lot of shout outs today.
We love the shout outs. It's all right. Can't go wrong with shout outs.
So
shout out to the Bella Vista Hotel.
Hey,
where
shout
we're
out!
recording this.
Big shout out to them.
Amazing sets. Cheers to the Bella Vista Hotel.
Cheers to them.
New screen and new stuff. Hey, put a lot of money into this room. So and then we get to book it for free. So if you need a podcast place, Bella Vista Hotel.
Yes, it's the place to be. Place to be.
Number one place, boys. Anyway,
it's the
sorry.
only one.
It's the only one. Nowhere else. You can't record your podcast anywhere else. Bella Vista Hotel and us won't let you.
It's gonna need like on Twitter how there's like verified tweeters.
Yeah.
It's like I need Spotify to implement a feature. It's like verified as recorded from the Bella Vista Hotel.
And
and if it's not, then fucking who cares? You know, like
no.
Joe Rogan's booked in after that.
Exactly. Yeah. We're 2 for 2 at this point. We've had both our chats here at the Bella Vista Hotel.
Yeah,
so
beautiful place to be.
Can't go wrong. Anyway, sorry.
No. We got to shout him out. But yeah,
yeah.
The song Eddie came out. And Flea posted about it. Did you see his post about it?
Yeah, it was like talking about Eddie and stuff like that. About how
I think before
Anthony's quote.
Oh yeah, that was Anthony's one.
Yeah.
But before it, like earlier in the week, Flea posted, and he was like, "We're releasing this song," and he's like, "Whenever I listen to it, I feel like this depth of emotion and all these things." It's like, I don't doubt that because they're that committed to their music that when they feel like when they're making music, it's like they're just feeling this, they're just letting it flow. But then you show that to Nancy, and she's like, "Oh, is that the new Chili Peppers song? Yeah, sounds like shit." Yeah, you know, like it's not doing anything for Nancy, you know. But then you show it to someone else, and they're like, "I totally feel that," you know. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's like me, I feel these things so much. I'm just curious. No matter what the feeling is. Cool. Yeah, I'm just curious, no matter what the feeling is, what how does the album feel to the people who listen to it? Like that's what I'm just super curious about that.
If I had to sort of minimalize my answer to it, I guess would be hopeful and warm are the two sort of things that sort of stick out to me listening to it. And I think that's also maybe because of the environment I was in. I went for a walk for the first time in a while because I'm lazy and I use my wrist as an excuse not to go outside. But like I put headphones on and like went for a walk and went a different route that I usually do. And then it ends up being this beautiful route that I've been missing this entire time. I'm living in this place for a year while listening to this album. So I felt like they sort of complemented each other quite well. So it may have amplified my feelings to it or maybe made it specific to me. But yeah, so yeah, hopeful and warm, I think. And I think especially because of the mixing of it as well and the fuzziness of it, of the intros and outros, how everything is linked together. I think that's the best way and the most minimalist way of explaining how I feel about the album. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely do feel there's a hopefulness.
Yeah.
In it, and definitely a warmth of like even in the saddest moments, there's sort of a comfort in that. It's like you're not alone kind of thing. Yeah. And it's yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's one thing I do want to ask about is Fabric Soften, the second last song on the album.
Wait, what's the last song? I don't know. Is it? I think it's the last song. But yeah.
Is it? Oh no, isn't Sacramento?
Oh yeah, no. Sorry, I thought you were asking about the Sacramento. Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Wait, we'll get to Sacramento. Anyway, so Fabric Soften, at the very, very end, I can hear a voice saying, like, okay, or something after the snippet, right? Is that you interviewing someone at the very end there? Because it sounds like your voice. So at the very end of the snippet of the man talking at the end of Fabric Soften, talking about the city, I'm pretty certain. Is that you interviewing him? Where did you get that?
No, that's me. Yeah.
Hey,
okay. Yeah.
All right, cool. Because
Yeah.
I heard you like respond to it, and you said or something like that for like a split second.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Brandon. I know that voice.
That was a good pickup. Damn.
I did a podcast with that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the guy that I was sending songs back and forth with, that was him. And he was the reason. Oh. So shoop.
Epic cut. Shout out to the Bella Vista staff. They're all very polite.
Shout out.
I like doing the fist. Anyway, yes. Sorry. So at the end of Fabric.
So he was, so at the start of it, I I can't not give the props to the homies for I hope not saving my life because that may be too much to like put on them. And I don't know. I can't really say for sure what would have happened if things had gone a different way. But for at least pulling me out of where I was at. First friend Jay, that's the friend I was talking about. Friend was I was talking to him about just how I was feeling and about how I didn't want to play my guitar. And I just felt like everything I do is shit, and why would I even bother playing guitar? And then he was like, just fucking make the worst song you can and just send it to me. So I did that. And that was like the first one. That was kind of the first step. Because for the first time, like, there wasn't that pressure anymore. And I could just play. There was no pressure or anything. And then fast forward, I don't know, my concept of time during that year, I don't know. It could have been 3 days. It could have been a week. It could have been months. I don't know. But then Ryan, the next homie, he was like, we were just hanging out, and somehow we got to the conversation of music. And then he was like, fucking just write some songs. Just, just make some music. And I was like, fucking, you make some music. And I was like, you make some music. And we just, you know what I mean? And we just like, we were both just like yelling at each other to just stop fucking procrastinating, like sitting down with a guitar and actually like letting ourselves do original things. So then we went home and we just started making music. And then every day for the next however long, we just kept sending each other songs, songs I was writing, songs that he was writing. And now we're in a band together. And the songs that he was writing are part of the band that we're in. I play drums in it. He sings and plays guitar. And we've written more songs since then. And then the songs that I sent him, a lot of them, I mean, all of them were from that. And a lot of them ended up on the album. And so we were kind of amping each other up in just that thing of there's nothing else that matters other than just like being able to express yourself. That's how we were feeling at that time, and just having an outlet and just feeling connected to the world. And that sort of interlude, because the album is so insular, it's like, it's all sort of just me trapped inside my own little bubble. And then he's kind of talking about how being in the city, being out in the world, that it connects him to things beyond himself. It makes him feel part of something. It makes him feel like there's more out there. And that feeling's really invigorating to him. And I think the end of the album, getting to Sacramento, that's kind of me being like, I want to go out there, you know, like I'm like, well, we're leaving everything we have to Sacramento. I've never been to Sacramento. I don't know why I said Sacramento. But it's that feeling of, I want to go out there into the world again. I want to connect with people. I want to be part of things. And I guess me putting this stuff out is like a extension of that. And me having a job is part of that. And not just living off job seeker and me. I mean, leaving the house, and it was locked down at the time. Like me being able to leave the house is another thing. And just, so that's why I included that. And just because I wanted to have something from my two friends that helped me have the confidence to make music in there. So that was one Easter egg for Ryan. And then the Easter egg with Jay is at the start of the album, when it's scanning through the stations, it scans through a couple of my old SoundCloud rap songs that I used to put up on SoundCloud when I was younger. And then there's this and then it goes into Puzzled. And that is the snippet from that worst song that I recorded to send to Jay, because it was like, make the worst song ever. So I recorded it and sent it over and that's like a little snippet from there.
Right.
And it just felt fitting that that's like the first thing you hear before it starts I mean, no one knows it.
Yeah.
But it feels special to me, and I told him, so then when he listens to it, he can hear that as well, and it's just kind of like a thank you for helping me, you know, because we can't do this alone.
No, you need friends like Jane.
Friends are important.
Yeah, you need.
So that's why I wanted to put that on there.
Right. Oh, that's very beautiful. See, I thought this album was beautiful, and now I know why. But quickly, because we do need to wrap up soon, because we also got a couple of songs to talk about. Songs
yes,
I'm excited for.
Let's do it.
But and Bailey's going to be waiting for us, but that's all right. He's only the co-host anyway. Who cares? Do a reference to the chants again. Sacramento. Yeah. My favorite song on the album, hands down. Cool. I love this song so much. Cool. I get excited for it when it's coming up. I'm like, yeah, let's go to Sacramento. Yes, let's go. Because I get like pumped up for it because it's such an amazing song. And I can't even explain why I love it so much. But I thought Puzzled would be my favorite song because it's my theme. It's a theme song for jams, my podcast and stuff like that and all that stuff. But yeah, like, no, it's Sacramento, man. Cool. Sacramento is my favorite song, hands down. It is brilliant. So shout out to you for making it.
Shout out to Sacramento.
Well, shout out to Sacramento. Quickly, on this album, is this all you? Because this sounds very well put together. It sounds like it's a group of people. It sounds like the production on it is that you, the instruments from you. Is that just been sitting in my room, just tinkering away. Genuinely impressive, man.
Doing some stuff.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, this album is excited. I'm so excited for the world to hear this. So 21st of October, everybody. Gentle Ghost. All I see is Ghost. October. Coming out on...
That's
look at
the artwork.
Look at the artwork.
It's the artwork, and it's the artwork. It's the artwork within an artwork.
It's double artwork. You get double artwork here on this.
Two for the price of one.
Let's go, boys. 21st of October. It's going to be out everywhere, I'm assuming?
Yes.
It's going to be out on Spotify.
It's going to be out. We're gonna be playing it very loudly from speakers.
Yes, we will be.
You'll be able to hear it from space.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out. No. You can find it, but if you head to Bandcamp, there'll be a link. Mm-hmm. By the time this drops, there'll be a pre-order link for some CDs.
Hey,
that'll be cool. You get like a little physical thing, you know, hand put together. But otherwise, yeah, Spotify is the place to be.
And About You and Puzzled are out now.
They are.
They are out on all streaming platforms.
Out at the moment.
And if you're enjoying this podcast, I'm so used to doing jams. If you're enjoying this interview, check it out and put it on. It's on, what is it called?
Where is this podcast going to be? Where's this interview going to be?
I don't know yet. I think my channel. I don't know unless you want to put it somewhere.
I'll definitely put it somewhere.
Yeah, sweet. We'll both put it. There we go.
It'll be somewhere that you can get it.
It'll be somewhere.
I mean, if you've gotten this far,
you found it.
You know better than us.
Yeah. Well, where is it? Tell us. You tell us. What I am trying to say is that if you're really enjoying this, head over to Triple J Unearthed. Because both songs are up there right now, and especially when the album drops.
Thank you for the review, by the way.
Oh, of course, I got you, man.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, give it a cheeky review. Puzzled and About You. That's if you want to be special. If you want to be the best person, the best boy / girl, go to Triple J Unearthed and check it out.
Do it.
That's the best way you can do it. But yeah, besides that, thank you again, Brandon, for letting me interview you.
Thank you for interviewing me.
No, of course. This has been wonderful. I love our chats. We've only been friends for a shorter period of time, but I feel like I've known you for a long time. But
we go with the deep dive.
We do. We get deep, and that's what I love. So no, I appreciate you, man. It's been super fun. So hopefully you've had a good time
as well
at the Bella Vista Hotel for the second time. Here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna play a couple songs, are we?
I think so.
Hopefully. I like my question where I know the answer because I asked you to play a couple songs and you have a guitar.
Do we have time?
We got time for like 2 songs.
Let's do it then.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do About You and then I'll do Sacramento.
Oh, perfect. Look at that. All right. Now,
the fan favorite.
Let me get I can't wait. Okay, I'm going to adjust the camera to get a better shot of you. So, we will make a quick cut.
Cool.